Good morning, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to share my professional learning plan for the 26-27 school year. As the Continuous Improvement Coordinator, my role extends beyond supporting individual schools. I work alongside district leaders, principals, instructional leaders, and teachers to build systems that improve teaching and learning across our district. Today's plan is intentionally designed around leadership development because sustainable school improvement begins with strong leadership. When leaders have clarity around the district's purpose, understand how to monitor implementation, and consistently communicate expectations, teachers are better supported and students ultimately experience stronger instruction. This presentation outlines a year-long professional learning plan that develops leadership capacity from the district level all the way to the classroom. The purpose of this professional learning plan is to strengthen three areas identified through our school improvement continuum and district needs assessment. The first area is establishing and communicating a clear district purpose and priorities. The second focuses on creating systems that ensure action steps are consistently implemented and monitored. Finally, we want to strengthen how district goals are articulated by establishing long-term priorities, short-term benchmarks, and clear timelines for measuring success. Rather than viewing professional learning as isolated workshops, this plan focuses on creating a coherent system that connects leadership development directly to instructional improvement. My decisions were driven by multiple sources of data. We examined our district needs assessment, leadership continuum ratings, instructional walkthrough data, PLC artifacts, teacher feedback surveys, and student achievement data from iRating and SC Rating. While there are many streams across our district, one consistent theme emerged. Schools often understand what needs to improve, but implementation looks different from building to building. Leaders communicate priorities differently. Monitoring systems vary, and staff members are not always able to connect daily instructional practices to larger district goals. Because of those inconsistencies, we need to build greater leadership coherence before expecting instructional coherence. Our desired future state is one where every leader across the district can clearly communicate our shared vision. By May of 2027, every principal, assistant principal, instructional coach, and teacher should understand not only our district priorities, but also how their daily work contributes to those priorities. We also want every school to use common systems for monitoring implementation, providing feedback, and supporting teacher growth. Ultimately, our goal is to create consistency across schools while still allowing leaders flexibility to meet the unique needs of their students. One of the biggest shifts in this plan is the use of the tiered leadership model. Professional learning starts with district leaders because they establish expectations and allocate resources. From there, principals receive training to strengthen leadership practices and develop implementation plans. Assistant principals then deepen those systems through instructional leadership. Instructional and teaching and learning coaches receive specialized coaching training so they can provide ongoing job embedded support for teachers. Finally, teachers participate in collaborative professional learning that directly impacts classroom instruction. This cascading model creates alignment, shared accountability, and consistency across every level of the organization. This professional learning plan is grounded in the Learning Forward standards because they provide a framework for designing meaningful adult learning experiences. Leadership ensures leaders actively support implementation rather than simply attending training. Learning designs emphasize active engagement instead of passive participation. Implementation reminds us that professional learning must include coaching, monitoring, and feedback. Evidence helps us continuously evaluate whether professional learning is actually improving instructional practice. Resources ensure time, funding, and personnel are aligned to support implementation. Professional expertise develops instructional leadership across all levels. Finally, a collaborative culture creates opportunities for educators to learn with and from one another. Rather than offering disconnected workshops throughout the year, this plan follows a logical progression. In August, we begin with district leaders and principals by establishing shared priorities. During September and October, we focus on leadership systems and coaching structures. Once leaders are prepared, instructional coaches begin supporting implementation. Teachers then engage in collaborative professional learning through PLCs, coaching cycles, and learning by doing protocols. Throughout the year, leadership teams meet regularly to analyze implementation data, celebrate progress, and make necessary adjustments. The year concludes with reflection, celebration, and planning for sustainability. We begin the school year by investing in leadership. During the August Leadership Institute, district leaders and principals will work together to clarify district priorities and align school improvement plans. Participants will develop measurable goals, identify success indicators, and create communication plans that ensure every stakeholder understands the district vision. This session moves beyond compliance and focuses on creating shared ownership of district priorities. When leaders leave this session, they will have concrete action plans ready to implement within their schools. After establishing district priorities, we shift our focus to implementation. Principals and assistant principals will learn how to build monitoring systems that provide meaningful instructional feedback. They will develop walkthrough tools, implementation checklists, coaching calendars, and structures for monitoring progress. Instructional and teaching and learning coaches will then receive specialized training focused on coaching conversations, modeling lessons, analyzing student work, and facilitating collaborative planning. This ensures that teachers receive continuous support rather than one-time professional development. Once leadership capacity has been established, professional learning moves into classrooms. Teachers will engage in learning by doing through collaborative PLCs, lesson study, peer observations, instructional rounds, and coaching cycles. Topics will include using common informative assessments, analyzing student work, strengthening small group instruction, implementing visible learning practices, developing purposeful anchor charts, and using data to make instructional decisions. The emphasis is not on learning new initiatives. Instead, teachers will deepen existing instructional practices through collaboration and continuous improvement. Professional learning only matters if implementation occurs. Throughout the year, implementation will be monitored using multiple measures. Monthly leadership meetings will review coaching laws, walk through data, PLC documentation, and school improvement progress. Quarterly district learning walks will provide opportunities to observe instructional practices across schools while calibrating leadership expectations. Rather than monitoring as accountability alone, these structures provide opportunities for coaching, celebration, and continuous refinement. One of the foundational concepts guiding this plan comes from learning by doing. Professional learning should never end when a workshop ends. Educators learn best when they study together, apply new learning, receive feedback, reflect on results, and refine their practice. Each professional learning cycle includes learning new content, implementing it in classrooms, collecting evidence, reflecting collaboratively, and making adjustments. This continuous cycle mirrors the improvement process we expect schools to use with students. The success of this professional learning plan will be measured through leadership practices, instructional implementation, and student outcomes. By May 2027, we expect every principal to consistently communicate district priorities and monitor implementation using common leadership tools. PLC documentation and walkthrough data should demonstrate increased use of learning by doing protocols and collaborative instructional planning. Student outcome measures, including I-Ready growth and SC-Ready performance, should reflect stronger instructional consistency across schools. Most importantly, success will be measured by whether professional learning changes instructional practice, not simply by attendance at training sessions. In closing, meaningful school improvement begins by developing people. When district leaders establish clear vision, principals lead with consistency, instructional coaches provide ongoing support, and teachers collaborate around student learning. Continuous improvement becomes part of the culture rather than just another initiative. The professional learning plan creates a sustainable leadership pipeline that builds capacity at every level of the organization. As Richard Dufour reminds us in Learning by Doing, schools improve when educators work collaboratively, remain focused on learning, and continually respond to evidence of student success. Thank you for your time. I welcome any questions or feedback regarding this professional learning plan.